Hello everyone, welcome to biology class. In this class, we are going to see about 11th standard Botany chapter 2 Plant Kingdom. In the previous part of the video, we have seen about algae, bryophyte and pteridophytes, and in this class we shall see about the gymnosperms. First, what are gymnosperms? Gymnosperms are naked seed producing plants. So, we have seen in a movie, it is a Steven Spielberg's movie called Jurassic Park. We would have seen that the insects are embedded in a transparent substance. The transparent substance is called amber. And this amber is used to preserve the extinct form. What is this amber? Which group of plant produces amber? So amber is nothing but it is a plant secretion. And this plant secretion is used as an effective preservative. And it doesn't get degraded, and hence it can remain preserve the remains of extinct life forms. And this amber is produced from a gymnosperm, Pinnatus succinifera. And in this chapter, we are going to discuss in detail about the gymnosperms. So gymnosperms have derived from a Greek word, gymnos meaning naked and sperma meaning seed. So naked seed producing plants are referred to as gymnosperms. And these gymnosperms, they are abundant in the Cretaceous period of the Mesozoic era. And it is distributed throughout the temperate and tropical region of the world. So this is the amber. Okay, so it is produced, it is a plant secretion. Let's see the comparison between the gymnosperm and angiosperm. First, let's see in what features they are similar. So both have plant body which is differentiated into root, stem and leaf. And presence of cambium in gymnosperms. As in case of dicotyledons of angiosperms, in gymnosperms also there is cambium is found. Cambium are nothing but the meristematic tissue which is found in between xylem and phloem, which is called as cambium. And flowers in netum resemble the male flower of the angiosperm, and zygote is the first cell of sporophyte. So, there is an integument which covers the ovule, and both the plant groups, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms, both produce seeds. And in both the cases, pollen tube help in the transfer of male nuclei and the presence of eustele. True, stele. Stele is nothing but in the previous class we have seen in detail about stele, central region of vascular tissue, okay, which consists of xylem, phloem, pericycle. Sometimes it may contain medullary ray and pith. Let's see the general characteristic features of gymnosperms. So most of the gymnosperms are evergreen. They are woody. They can be trees or shrubs. Some are lianas. Lianas is a kind of climber or vines. And this liana is nothing but a long stem woody vine, and it is rooted in soil at the ground level, and they use trees for the support. So in this case of gymnosperms, it has a well developed taproot system. And coralloid roots of cycas have symbiotic association. So this is the coralloid root. So the coralloid root of this cycas plant has got a symbiotic association with the blue-green algae. And in case of pinus, the roots have mycorrhizae. So mycorrhizae is nothing but a symbiotic association between the roots of the plants and fungi. And the stem of the gymnosperm is aerial, okay, that is above the ground, and it is erect, and it is branched or unbranched. So in case of cycas, there are no branch, but it has got leaf scars. And in conifer, a kind of gymnosperm, conifer, two types of branches, namely branches of limited growth, that is dwarf shoot, and branches of unlimited growth, long shoot is present. The leaves are dimorphic. Okay, so two different morphological forms of leaves. One is foliage leaves and the other one is scale leaves. So foliage leaves, they are green, they are photosynthetic, and they are borne on branches of limited growth. And they show xerophytic feature. So xerophytic is nothing but the plants that are growing under dry habitat. The xylem will consist of tracheids, but in netum and ephedra, vessels are present. And secondary growth is present in case of gymnosperms. The wood may be porous, soft, and it has got more parenchyma with wide medullary ray. Such a type of root is found in cycas, and this root is referred to as monoxylic. Whereas pycnoxylic, the wood is compact, okay, with the narrow medullary ray, example pinus. And this gymnosperms, they are heterosporous, two different kinds of spores, that's why it is called heterosporous. And the plant may be monoecious, that is both the male and female flowers are found in the same plant, or dioecious, that is sexes are separate. And microsporangia and megasporangia are produced on microsporophyll and megasporophyll respectively. Okay, so the sporophyll is nothing but the leaves in which the spores are bare. It is called as microsporophyll and megasporophyll. And male and female cones are produced, and anemophilous pollination is present, that is wind pollination. Fertilization is siphonogamous, that is the male gamete is transferred through a pollen tube. That's why this fertilization is referred to as siphonogamous. And this pollen tube helps in the transfer of male nuclei. Polyembryony, presence of many embryo is present. The naked ovule develops into seeds because here it is gymnosperm, the ovule is naked. And the endosperm is haploid, so got n number of chromosomes. And the life cycle of gymnosperms shows alternation of generation. And the sporophytic phase is dominant and the gametophytic phase is highly reduced. Spawn classified gymnosperms into 3 classes, 9 order, 31 family. The name of the classes, it can be asked in 2 marks. First class, Cycadopsida, Coniferopsida and Netopsida. Let's see about the differences between gymnosperms and angiosperms. So in case of xylem, gymnosperms vessels are absent, whereas angiosperms vessels are present. In phloem, it lacks companion cells, that is companion cells are absent, companion cells are present. In case of gymnosperms, the ovules are naked, whereas in case of angiosperms, the ovules are enclosed within the ovary. And in gymnosperms, only wind pollination will occur. Whereas in angiosperms, pollination takes place by means of the pollinating agents such as insects, wind, water, animals, etc. In gymnosperms, double fertilization is absent. Okay. Whereas in angiosperms, double fertilization is present. The endosperm, the nutritive tissue, in case of gymnosperm is haploid, n number. Whereas in case of angiosperms, the endosperm is triploid. And in gymnosperms, no fruit formation, whereas angiosperms, since it is a flowering plant, it will give rise to fruit. And flowers are absent and flowers are present. Next is economic importance of gymnosperms. So first we have the table as plants, products and uses. So cycas, the product is sago, the starch is used as food. Pinus gerardiana, the seed is roasted, if roasted, it is used as a food. Abies balsamea, so from which a resin is taken, Canada balsam, and this Canada balsam is used for mounting medium and permanent slide preparation. So in laboratories and all will be having permanent slides. For that, mounting of the specimens will be using the Canada balsam. It is a resin. And Pinus insularis and Pinus roxburghi. So the products are rosin and turpentine, and it is used for paper sizing and in making of varnishes. So paper sizing, if it is done, it will prevent the paper from blurring. Next, Araucaria, it is referred to as monkey's puzzle, and from it tannins are obtained, and the bark will yield tannins and it is used in leather industry. And Taxus, Bravifolia. So from it, Taxol is taken, which is used for treatment of cancer. Ephedra gerardiana. So from which ephedrine is taken and which is used for the treatment of asthma and bronchitis, inflammation of bronchi. Pinus roxburghi, from which a product called oleoresin is obtained and it is used to make soap, varnishes, printing ink, etc. And Pinus roxburghi and Picea smithiana. Okay, so wood pulp of this plant is used for making of papers. And Cedrus deodara, its wood is used to make doors, boats and railway sleepers. And Cedrus atlantica, from which the product obtained is oil, and this oil is used in perfumery. And Thuja, cupressus, Araucaria and Cryptomeria. So they are used as decorative since they are ornamental plants. The next topic is Paleobotany. So Paleobotany is nothing but the study of fossil plants. So the National Wood Fossil Park, it is situated in Thiruvakkarai, a village of Viluppuram district of Tamil Nadu. The park contains petrified wood fossils. Approximately 20 million years old fossils are found in this park. The term form genera is used to name the fossil plants because the whole plant is not recovered as fossil. Instead, the organs or parts of the extinct plants are obtained in fragments. The entire plant is not obtained as a fossil, only the fragments. The Shivalik Fossil Park, Himachal Pradesh, Mandla Fossil Park, Madhya Pradesh, Raj Mahal Hills, Jharkhand, Ariyalur, Tamil Nadu are some of the fossil rich sites of India. And some of the fossil representatives of different plant groups are. So there are several fossil algae, Phalioporella, dimorphosiphon, several bryophytes, fossil bryophytes, Nidita, hepaticides and muscicides. Fossil pteridophytes, Cooksonia, Rhynia, Baragwanthia and calamites. Fossil gymnosperms are Medullosa, Lepidocarpon, Williamsonia, Lepidodendron, and fossil angiosperms are Archaeanthus and Furcula. So here is an example for this fossil, okay, a tree, the part which is converted into a fossil. So this fossil is found at Thiruvakkarai. Professor Birbal Sahni, he is called as father of Indian Paleobotany, and he described the fossil plants from Raj Mahal hills of eastern Bihar, and Pentoxylon Sahni and Nippani oxylon are some of the form genera which is described by him. And Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleobotany, it is located in Lucknow. So that's it about the gymnosperms. Next we move on to angiosperms. So spermatophytes, it also include the plants bearing ovules enclosed in a protective cover called ovary, and such plants are referred to as angiosperms. And this angiosperms constitute major plant group of our earth, and they are adapted to the terrestrial mode of life. And this group of plants appeared during the early Cretaceous period, and it dominates the vegetation on a global scale. And here also the sporophyte is the dominant phase, whereas the gametophyte is highly reduced. Now let's see the salient features of angiosperms. So here vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem, are well developed, and in case of gymnosperms we found they bear cones, but here they bear flowers instead of cones. The ovule will remain enclosed by a ovary, and pollen tube helps in fertilization, and water is not essential for fertilization, and double fertilization is present. The endosperm is triploid 3N, And the angiosperms are broadly classified into two classes. One is dicotyledon and the other one is monocotyledon. Now we shall see about the characteristic features of dicot and monocots. First, about dicot, the morphological features, the external features. So in the leaves we can find reticulate venation, and as the name suggests, it has got only two cotyledons. And in case of dicot plant, the primary root, that is the radicle, it will remain as the main root or the taproot. And all the floral parts they have in tetramerous or pentamerous form. So tetramerous in multiples of 3, pentamerous in multiples of 5. Tricolpate, that is the pollen will have 3 furrow-like structures, hence called tricolpate structure. Now let's see anatomical features. The vascular bundles of dicot plants are arranged in the form of a ring, and the vascular bundles are of open type, that is cambium is present. And secondary growth is also present in case of dicotyledons. Now we shall see about the monocotyledons. So there in dicot we have seen reticulate venation is found. Here it is parallel venation. And there, as the name suggests, two cotyledons, whereas here in case of monocotyledons only one cotyledon. And the radicle, the rudimentary root, does not persist, and fibrous root only it is found in case of monocotyledon. And the floral parts are trimerous. That is, the floral parts are found in multiples of 3. And in case of pollen, it has got only one furrow. Furrow means a small depression like structure. So it's called monocolpate. Now let's see the anatomical features. So there vascular bundles are arranged in the form of a ring. Here vascular bundles are found scattered. There the vascular bundles are open. That is, cambium is found in between xylem and phloem. Whereas here the vascular bundles are closed. That is, in between xylem and phloem, cambium is absent. And secondary growth is absent in case of monocotyledon. The current angiosperm phylogeny group, APG system of classification, it does not recognize dicot as a monophyletic group. So what is a monophyletic group? Group of organisms that consist of all descendants of a common origin. So plants are traditionally classified under dicots or dispersed in several clade like magnolids, eudicots. So now we have seen about the monocots and dicots. So monocots only one cotyledon, in dicot two cotyledon. In case of dicot, the veins are arranged in the form of net-like. So it is called reticulate venation, whereas in monocot it is parallel venation. And the stem is arranged in the form of a ring in case of dicot, whereas it is arranged in a complex form. And in case of dicot, taproot system, whereas in case of monocot plant it is fibrous root system. And in case of dicot, the floral parts, they are usually in multiples of 4 or 5, whereas in monocot the floral parts are in multiples of 3. So with this we come to the end of the chapter. So we have seen in detail about what are gymnosperms, and also we have seen about angiosperms and its salient feature and the divisions of angiosperms. We have seen dicotyledon and monocotyledon. So meet you in the next video. Thank you.